So, hello there everyone and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it is time for me to bring you 8 things that I want to see added to FIFA 19. Now, I am a career mode channel for those that know, so obviously, usually I talk about FIFA 19, career mode, or just stuff that needs fixing within that game mode. Today, however, I'll just be talking about general FIFA stuff, FIFA 19 stuff. There are a couple of things that are exclusive to career mode, but only a few. The majority of it is just gameplay stuff or whatever, and also to do with other game modes as well. And also these are things that can be added to the current game. They're not necessarily things that you'd have to wait until FIFA 20 to be added. Later down the line I'll do plenty of videos on that, but for now we're going to talk about stuff that EA, if they really wanted to, could implement onto this game. Now if you go on to enjoy the video, slap a like on it, and of course subscribe if you are new to the channel. It's the big red button under the video and it massively helps me out. But without further ado, let's get into the things. And first of all, I'd love to see some new celebrations. EA clearly showed a statement of intent. They can actually do this by adding the J-Lings celebration. It almost pains me having to say that out loud in a video. For most people, the Jesse Lingard celebration was obviously added to FIFA in not the most recent update, but the one before that, although the most recent one hasn't even come to consoles yet. But the second most recent one that EA actually announced that had quite a few things in it, but it also had Jesse Lingard's new celebration, which is brilliant, and I'm a good fan of that, but there's plenty more that they could actually add to the game, generally speaking. Obviously, there's been quite a few that have been making headlines recently, and Dele Alli's celebration is one. I think I spoke about it in the video where I talked about Jesse Lingard's new celebration being added. It'd be quite interesting to see them add that and a couple of other ones into the game. I know a lot of people have been saying, and when I mentioned to a couple of my friends I was going to make this video, a lot of people said that they would like to see Fortnite dances, and I'm sorry, but if you want Fortnite dances in FIFA, then there are significant issues, and I cannot help you. The next one might be a slightly unreasonable one, but I don't see why it should be unreasonable, and that's that we need some new game faces on the players that were promoted to the Premier League. And I know this happens usually in November. I know it's gonna happen soon because we've had this glitch in the background where players' faces go to this default white bold man when they're gonna have a game scan added to the game. I don't know why this glitch exists, but it does, and it's usually an indicator that the player that it's actually happening to is gonna get their face scan added to the game. I know it's happened with people like Willy Bolly, and it was Ruben Neves and other people, and it was very odd, especially when it was a black player. Jean-Michel Seri was another one that I saw it happen to. But generally speaking, it was only for about 8 players. Only like 8 players from each of the newly promoted teams are actually getting face scans, which is fine. It's a step in the right direction, but at the same time, you know, you've got face scans for other teams in the Prem of literally every single player, even their younger players. And to be honest, I'd quite like to, if I was going to do a career mode with Wolves, which I'm doing, but if I was going to do another one, I'd kind of like more than just 8 of their players to have face scans. Is that a little bit too much to ask? As well as that, there's still people like Fabinho, who doesn't have a face scan. He is the most generic mixed race man I've ever seen on this game, and it's getting on my nerves, and I don't know when they're ever actually going to give him a face scan, whether it'll be before the end of this FIFA, whether it'll be for the next FIFA, I don't know, but it's really quite annoying, to be honest with you, to see so many players without face scans. Again, as I said, it's nice to see them doing some of them, but I think they could do more, especially for the promoted teams. Now, we're going on to a career mode exclusive one here, but I suppose it could work generally speaking with just the team updates, but there needs to be an update onto loan to buy deals, per se, in career mode. And what I mean is, when a player is on loan with a view to buy or an obligation to buy in real life, they're going to end up at the club permanently. It happened with Kylian Mbappe last year on FIFA 18 career mode, where he would be on loan, but then he wouldn't actually sign for Paris Saint-Germain at the end of the loan. He'd go back to Monaco. Everyone knew that deal was an obligation to buy. They basically bought him. They just postponed the deal for 1 calendar year. So it would be nice to actually implement that, or just put them to the team permanently. We all know they're going to sign for the team permanently, so just sack off the loan part of the deal and give them to the actual team. And also, this needs to work with pre-contract signings as well. Naby Keita was not available for Liverpool on FIFA 18 career mode from the January updates onwards. We all knew he was going to Liverpool. Give him to Liverpool, because the whole pre-contract thing in that sense doesn't exist on FIFA 19 career mode. So just give him to Liverpool. It doesn't make any sense for him to still be at the club. It was just annoying. Or implement that system into the game. Either or, but it's annoying knowing that a player's just going to go back from their loan when they're meant to be signing permanently, especially when it's my club. Happened to me in the Wolves career mode when someone's obligated to sign after the deal is done, but then they just go back and you've got to pay full money for them. This next one is going to be very short and sweet because I've talked about it so many times, but please, for the love of God, can we have 4 more game slots back and saves for career mode? It's ridiculous. It's actually so annoying. It's genuinely stupid at this point. Why would I only want 4 career mode saves? I've heard on the grapevine it's not solely EA's fault. Apparently they were going above and beyond the amount of memory they're allowed for a game according to Xbox and PlayStation. So they've had to cut that out to make sure they go beyond, or so they go below the guidelines set to them by the console makers, which is annoying, isn't it? I mean, it's not just EA's fault. Hopefully they can sort that out during the course of FIFA 19 or going forward, and hopefully with the removal of the journey going into FIFA 20, we'll definitely see those extra 4 save slots back. But for now, yeah, really frustrating. Point number 5 is not revolutionary, even though it really should be given the game mode we're talking about. Fix pro clubs. For crying out loud, and I don't mean as in like add new features, even though it really does need those, because obviously we won't get new features during the course of an actual game cycle. But just fix the bugs. The game mode is so broken, it's actually a joke. From the offsides just being completely broken, to attacking midfielders being asked to play at left back throughout the game and getting an awful rating by the end of it. It's fundamental stuff that's just completely shafted in pro. It's so bad, and it's so simple. It's basic stuff within the gameplay and the coding that for some reason is broken, and it has been for multiple FIFAs now. So this is obviously not something that needs adding, but just, I guess, something that needs fixing during the course of FIFA 19. For crying out loud, sort that out. Pro Clubs is an actual mess. There's plenty of teams on this game and in the Premier League that don't have classic kits. I'd love to see some more of them. Don't know if it's a licensing issue, but there's quite a few Premier League clubs that actually have none at all. I believe Leicester is one of them. So can we actually have some classic kits for all of the clubs? I know it was quite a big thing when classic kits first got added, or they did a massive influx of them about 3 years ago. We haven't seen all that many since then, and even for lower league sides as well, a couple of championship sides and, you know, League 1 sides, League 2 sides, they've all got classic kits. It would be quite cool to have some more of them on the game. I'm not saying a classic kit for every single team on FIFA 19, but at least having every single Premier League club or every single club in the top league of their country with at least one classic kit would be nice, because there's some teams that have like 3 and then others that have none. Again, might be a licensing issue, but if that could be sorted, that would be quite nice. Means some more kits for Ultimate Team, but also some more for career mode and on kickoff as well, because you can use them in those game modes too. The next one's kind of a cheat because it's pretty much the same as the one from earlier, but more face scans. This time for European players. You almost have to be a World Cup winner these days to get a face scan if you're not based in England. It's an actual joke. Given the fact that we've got 85 rated or whatever, Fabinho, as I mentioned, who just joined Liverpool, wasn't face scanned, isn't face scanned, and that's because he's not been playing in England for a year. Just because he plays for Monaco, or used to play for Monaco, doesn't mean he's a bad player. I know it might be to do with resources and whatnot, but come on EA, get some more face scans on some players that aren't in England, because there's so many that haven't got them. I mean, Casemiro had to wait so long as one of the best holding midfielders in the entire world. They had to wait about 3 years for a face scan. The final one is that certain managers are still managing teams they shouldn't be managing. In essence, what I'm trying to say is replace the guys that have been sacked or add in the managers that have actually taken over. Like, there's certain teams in the Premier League that don't actually have their real manager yet. So Nuno isn't in the game, the Wolves manager. I don't think Neil Warnock is in the game as the Cardiff manager. I haven't seen him, I haven't bought a player from Cardiff yet, but I imagine he isn't in it either. That needs to be rectified, obviously. And whilst we're at it, let's get some more European managers in the game as well. I'm fed up of big teams across Europe being managed by a default manager. That's that for the 8 things I want adding to FIFA 19 so far. Leave down in the comment section what you want to see added to the game during the course of this game cycle, and I may make another one with your ideas in. If you enjoyed this video though, slap a like on it and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It's the big red button under the video and it massively helps me out. You can also follow me on social media these days too. My Twitter and Insta are at @theofficialfng and links are down below. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.
feel so